More now from personal trainer Carl Benton from Horsley, who's produced a beautiful cookbook and it's called Inspired. All monies raised from the book will go to the Stroud Women's Refuge. Carl is a personal trainer and is passionate about food. During lockdown, he created a family cookbook with contributions from some real-life Gloucestershire culinary legends, which you'll hear more about in a sec. I've been to meet Carl at his home, and Carl has been cooking one of the recipes to demonstrate that really anybody can put these simple meals together. Carl is cooking salmon wrapped in foil and goes on to explain there's something for everybody in the book.
They start off simple, but the premise is, and I say this to my children, 2 boys at 14 and 12, if you can read, you can cook. Because it's basically just following a series of instructions.
The smell of lime is driving me crazy.
And we have no tequila. And when you get the oils, like when you zest things, and it's amazing.
Oh, it's lovely. You were saying earlier on that recipes have been donated to you, and you've got some big names in this book, haven't you?
Luckily, I got Tom Kerridge.
Wow.
Well, before that, I must give credit to Matthew Fort, who's the food critic of the Great British Menu Judge. So he's Five Valleys resident, and I'd approached him to see if he'd give me sort of a reference. I told him the background of the book, and he happily gave a sort of reference for this. And then we were able to make contact with Tom Kerridge, another Gloucestershire lad, who donated me a couple of recipes. I think I got 3 recipes from Tom Kerridge. So once I had Tom Kerridge on board, it was then easy then to approach even more chefs. So I contacted Leon Restaurants, now rather a major chain, but that was one of the first books I had, which has got one of the sort of the easier recipes in. Diana Henry, Tom from Hobbs, who's at the long table, he agreed to give. Then we went to other places like Thistledown, to Wild Garlic, Tamari G in Stroud. They helped me out at the very last minute, which was really good. The Bell at Selsey, but we also managed to get Forest Green Rovers on board, and they donated their vegan burger. Jolly Nice gave me their burger. So it's great that we've got lots of local businesses giving something.
So this is local through and through, and it's not just a recipe book. There's philosophy, there's a bit of wisdom.
Yeah, hopefully there's a few things that stop and make people think. So I write quite a bit for a fitness magazine, but I don't write about fitness. I write more about mindset and how we can change the way we see things. And part of the book is that, because we're all so geared to be on a treadmill, literally just running around, that we actually don't have time to stop and think, and lockdown gave us all time to stop and think, and it's a case of now we can reassess actually what's really important to us. It was important that we had something about that, but it was also important we had stories from the refuge, because the book is about raising money for the refuge, and we hope to raise, all told, 50 to 60,000 pounds. But that will make such a difference for these people's lives. Lockdown taught us all a lot that no one really knows what tomorrow is going to bring. And tomorrow could bring, for some of us, to actually the need to be in a place like that. We don't know what's going on behind everyone's closed doors, and the people that may be suffering that need to be in places like that, and we're thankful that the refuge is there.
Where can people buy the book from then, Carl?
It's out there now, so we've got it in Stroud, in Stroud Bookshop. It's at the Yellow Lighted Bookstore in Nailsworth, but it's also available to order online, and it's also available from Personal Best. We're hoping to put a few events on. That's our salmon.
Oh!
Hoping to put a few events on between now and Christmas, where we will be at markets and festivals selling the book.
Right on cue. Look at that. Cue.
Right,
perfect.
So it's not going to be smell-o-vision, but hopefully the salmon should be cooked. So just
very little washing up, by the way. I mean that's the deal, isn't it? I wash up afterwards. Oh, look at that.
That looks okay.
God, that smells amazing. And you said that was £3?
£3 per person, yeah, and that's pretty much a meal in itself. So you could serve this with some boiled rice, steamed rice, or noodles. But I think there's enough veg there, there's enough salmon, for a light lunch or a light supper there. Right, I'm going to get a bowl so we can put that in, and then on top of that, I'm going to pour on the ponzo.
Ooh, the ponzo, darling.
Lime juice, lime zest, the Japanese wine, and also a little bit of soy sauce. Right, so I'm going to bring this over to you. You can
salivating. I'm actually salivating. So it's 2 o'clock and I've been for a really long run this morning, so I'm very ready for my lunch. Okay, so thank you. Thanks, Carl.
Salmon en papillote, so basically salmon in tin foil. And it's got mushrooms, fine green beans. I should have had asparagus tips. It's got some sliced carrot, very finely sliced carrot, and then it's cooked in mirin, miso,
That is
sesame oil.
beautiful. Thank you very much for cooking.
It's like a spoon.
That's so zingy. And the beans are just perfect. They're nice and crunchy, and that is fabulous.
So it was, wasn't it? So like say 20 minutes pretty much from start to finish.
And that feels really healthy as well.
Yeah, and it is really healthy, but it's just flavour sensation, isn't it?
Carl, thank you very much. It's
You're
lovely
welcome.
to meet you today.
I'd love to meet you.
I'm going to terminate this interview now because I'm more interested in eating this while it's hot.